I'm Jenn Weatherhead, a travel journalist and a travel enthusiast.
Right now, I'm in the Everglades.
I've taken my passion for travel and turned it into my job.
Celestial and diabetes. That thing has both right there.
I'm saying this, so where do I sign up?
And I want to bring you along with me while I find the next destination you should add to your travel list. From lesser-known destinations to revitalized cities and up-and-coming neighborhoods in familiar places, this is Next Destination. Hi, I'm Jenn Weatherhead, and this is Next Destination in St. Kitts. I always like to start a trip with historical sites to give me some perspective on the destination. The perfect spot to do that in St. Kitts is at the Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park, where I met with Percival to learn about the importance of the island to both the French and the British.
My name is Percival Hanley. I'm the general manager of the Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park, and that's exactly where we are, the Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park. It's a wonderful fortress that was built beginning in the 1690s, continue until about the 1790s. A magnificent defense fortification that was built by the British using slave labor. Okay, but right now it stands as a testament to not only the history of those times, but also to the excellent work of those who built it, as you can see.
I can't believe how high up we are right now and how difficult that must have been to construct this.
Exactly. This hill, the highest point is just about 800 feet high.
Wow.
Above sea level.
Wow.
And all of the materials that were used to build this fortress, all of the stones, all of the mortar came from this hill.
Wow.
So they didn't have to go to the bottom to find those, except for the mortar part. The hill is clad with limestone, which is unusual for a volcanic island, because this hill was pushed up out of the sea with a cladding of limestone along the side. That was the perfect thing to make the mortar to build this fortress.
So then this that we're walking on right now, this is the limestone?
So this black stone is a volcanic stone called andesite.
Okay.
Okay, and this is from the fabric of the hill. In other words, you go in there and you dig out a stone, it will be this.
Okay.
Andesite. But the white stuff, okay, that's the limestone mortar that was put it together.
Right, that held everything.
Yes. Like
And you
cement.
said 1690?
1690 it was started, yeah.
Wow, and then it must have taken...
Just about 100 years in continuous building.
Wow.
To give you what you're seeing now.
Do you have any idea how many people it took over that 100 years to construct this?
I'm not sure if we have that information, but the fortress itself, in its present form, housed up to about 1,000 soldiers.
Wow.
Okay, and so, well, 1,000 soldiers, but there were also people,
right,
like the slaves, and maybe even other civilians who sought refuge here.
Right.
She's buried there, and it says on the tombstone, she died at age 29,
Wow.
having had 10 children. So now we have what we call the Fort George Citadel. This is almost like the crowning glory of the fortress. It's the last bastion that you would have to conquer if you want to say that you have defeated the people who occupy this. Okay, but before we go in there, we're going to take a look over here.
Okay.
This part is called the Western Place of Arms.
Wow, look at that view. Yeah, you would have the perfect vantage point to see anyone coming.
If you notice, you can see literally the entire Caribbean Sea, stretching from Nevis to the island of Nevis behind there, stretching from Nevis, coming all the way across here. Any ships approaching are spotted very easily.
Wow.
Then you have the island of St. Eustatius. It's a Dutch island. And if you look in the mist to the left of it, you can actually see another island right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a Sabre, another Dutch island. It's a hazy day today, so not much visibility. But over the nose of this cannon, you would also be able to see on a clear day the island of St. Martin.
Wow.
And then over the nose of the other cannon, you'll be able to see the island of St. Bart's. Okay, so you have this panoramic view and all these various islands that are surrounding us. So you're transitioning here from the Caribbean Sea right across here where you start getting into the Atlantic Ocean behind you.
Tucked into the high-up rainforest at Brimstone Hill, you'll find a selection of cottages and villas that provide the most idyllic escape. Welcome to the Belmont Sanctuary Resort.
With Wise, Tina can spend and send money in other currencies. Tina's gone
international. Moving all around, money head there, everywhere, man, I like a sound. Ding, 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 international. Moving all around, money head there, everywhere, man, I like that sound.
Wise, the app for doing things in other currencies.
Ding, ding.
If you think there's just one Miami, think again. You might discover her Miami, a fitnesscape full of kicking, swinging, and steaming. There's the Artventurous Miami that combines vibrant art and one-of-a-kind outdoor adventures. And get your appetite ready for a Miami that's deluxious, equal parts delicious and luxurious. There's a Miami perfect for you, waiting to be discovered. The only question is, what Miami will you choose?
I'm the one you want in your life. What will your friends say for you tonight? I'm the one you want in your life. What will your friends say for you tonight?
It's rare to find a place that embraces local cultures, art, and is still popular with both locals and tourists alike. But you can find that at Caribelle Batik, where cloth and clothing is handcrafted using wax and colorful dyes.
I'm Jamelia Samuel, General Manager at Caribelle Batik, St. Kitts. So what we do is batiking, and batiking is an Indonesian art of waxing and dyeing. We'll actually be this year celebrating 50 years of batiking on the island of St. Kitts. Yes.
Wow.
So what batiking is, it's a process of starting on a white piece of material, and then we wax what we want to stay white. So
this is the part you want to stay white,
correct.
And this is the wax.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So in this instance, it's just going to be a single color. So we put it in red, we dyed it in red,
Right.
and then we boiled it out.
Oh, wow.
So see, what was wax is now white, and then the red.
What kind of wax are you using?
We use a combination of 3 waxes actually. A paraffin wax, which we get out of the UK, a kerosene-based wax, which we get from Indonesia, and a locally produced beeswax from the honey hives.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we use the 3 to get the right consistency. We may use more of the beeswax if we have a lot more colors, and so we need flexibility. And if it's just clothing pieces, which is just maybe 2 colors or 3, we then just use a combination of both. So it's much easier to boil off.
Nice.
And the wax is recyclable, so once we use it, we can actually boil it out, This is a piece that's been used already. We can boil it again and reuse it.
Reuse it. Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So then there's no waste in terms of the
Correct.
Right.
So we also do tie-dye combinations.
Uh-huh.
So we tie,
Mm-hmm.
we dye, we wax, we tie some more, we dye, and we keep doing that process so we can get quite a few colors. So Harriet, for example.
Oh, wow. This is what you would do with tie-dyeing and
Correct.
waxing.
That's correct.
How long would that take?
It depends on the number of colors.
Mm-hmm.
Each color is 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
So 5 colors, 5 days.
5 days.
Yep. So this has been done in 3 colors.
Mm-hmm.
The lightest shade will remain white. The darker shade is going to be a blue. And the darkest shade is now going to be navy. So we're now going to dip this in a black, and you'll have a combination of black, white,
And maybe, okay, so this is midway through the process.
This is midway. Well, one more thing.
more.
So for example, now Tiara is holding up a piece. And that is what a finished piece looks like. And if you feel, you see the difference.
Yeah, you don't feel the
Correct.
the waxiness at all. Oh, wow.
It's art. And the beauty of art is there's nothing wrong with it. It's whatever inspires you.
Remember that when you see what I do.
My name is Maurice Widdowson. I founded Caribelle Batik in 1975, which by an amazing stroke of good fortune is 50 years old this year. I was already living in the Caribbean. I was living in St. Lucia, another beautiful island, and I decided by this time that I wanted to stay in the Caribbean. So I needed a mechanism to enable me to do that. And wisely or otherwise, I chose, with a lot of consideration, batik. The reason I chose batik is it was a fledgling cruise industry at the time, a fledgling hotel industry, but the two ends of the market were well catered for. At the high end, there was duty-free shops, there was, duty-free cameras, watches, perfumes, toiletries, china, glassware, all those things were well catered for. And at the lower end of the market, it was well catered for with souvenir shops with t-shirts and hats and all those kind of things. But there was a soggy middle that wasn't really being catered for at all. And I saw an opportunity to produce something locally that was of a very high standard, that would be memorable and different. And I chose batik. I have a bit of a background in textiles. I'd lived before the Caribbean in Central Africa, in Zambia. I became familiar with batik there because we used to import it from Holland, not Indonesia. And I loved the technique, and I found it very interesting. So I decided it should be batik. I was in St. Kitts doing consultancy. They said, stay on for 4 months and set up a supermarket. I said, okay. I then mixed and mingled and recruited Kittitians to run the supermarket. I love the guys that we employed, had a lot of fun setting it up, and I thought, if I'm going to set up a business, I'd like to do it here.
For those looking to dip their toes into the sand and that beautiful Caribbean water, a stay at the Park Hyatt in St. Kitts might just be the most perfect stay you can find.
So my name is Joella Gums. I'm the Marketing Communications Manager here at Park Hyatt St. Kitts.
It's so beautiful. What do you think kind of sets it apart from other places on St. Kitts?
So it's a really special property because we have the advantage of being located on a very secluded beach, which is called Banana Bay. So I think that in itself, gives us the perfect setting in a beautiful island. So that's one of the things that definitely sets us apart. And I think a lot of the architecture that we've woven into the resort also makes us really special because it taps into the roots, the historic roots of the island.
I was going to ask you what the inspiration was, because the architecture is quite distinct here, and I liked how there are different villas, or the setting for the different rooms, and then when you walk into the lobby, it's beautiful with the water. So can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind it?
Sure. So definitely a lot of the inspiration comes from the architecture of the island. You'll notice there's tons of stonework around the property. And if you look at Rampart Pool, which is our adults only pool, the arches there were actually mimicked from the architecture down at Brimstone Hill Fortress, as well as at Romney Manor. They both have those signature archways. So, you know, we've incorporated that into the design. And then the general feel is very Caribbean, very light, airy, you know, with some touches of, you know, our architecture from the colonial history of the island.
And then we have a little tower over there too, right?
Yes, so that's the sugar mill, well, a replica of a sugar mill. So, you know, the industry, well, the economy of St. Kitts and Nevis was built on sugar production. So we've taken, you know, that aspect of our history as well and brought it into the resort. And then, of course, we're here in the sugar mill spa and sanctuary right now. So that also is a nod to those historical roots. We get quite a range of travelers. I'm sure you've seen we have families here, we have couples, people that solo travel, and of course we do have some business travel as well. But it's really a great resort for every type of traveler. There's something for everyone here at the resort.
Yeah, I would say that, I mean, we have seen families and different types of travelers and stuff, but no one seems to be on top of each other. It's so nicely spaced out.
Like you mentioned, you know, all of the rooms are in very distinct buildings, so it gives it a real community feel. It feels like you're in your own little, you know, community, small community here at the resort. So even if you come by yourself, you're guaranteed to make friends with someone else just because there's that really close community feel to the resort.
Okay, so now can I ask you some questions about the island itself?
Of course, it's my home.
I want to know what you think makes St. Kitts so special compared to other islands.
I think because we're not very commercialized, you know, we're still very young when it comes to the tourism industry, but that's part of our charm. You know, it's really untouched, unspoiled, so you really get to come and feel the authenticity of the island.
It's really cool because I find the time that I've spent here, it isn't like any other island that I've been to. And I do like how each island kind of has their own separate thing, but I think St. Kitts really does own its own.
Yeah, it's very unique. You have, you know, the very quiet side of the island, but then you know there's still tons of adventure to get into while you're here. And then there's also the culinary scene. Great place to really try all of the local delicacies and, you know, the food that makes St. Kitts so special.
And then what would you say is your number one thing that you like to do or that you love about the island?
Well, it's definitely going to the beach. So I pursued my undergrad in New York, so I was away for about 6 years. And during my vacations, I would sometimes come home, and that's when I really fell in love with the island and kind of what led me into the tourism industry, because, you know, there's just so much to appreciate, and the beach was definitely one of those places that I took for granted while being away.
Yeah, I was going to say, sometimes you have to go away to realize
to really
how
appreciate
amazing it is, right?
Go from the lap of luxury to lands untouched by time, where ancient civilizations once thrived, where their spirit still lives on today, and where you can leave everything else behind and grab life. Plan your trip today.
Here in Chicago, our style is everything. It's making moves, making waves, and making no little plans. From lounging on the shoreline to laughing at the punchline, our style is igniting the senses and igniting the night sky. It's preserving the past and embracing innovation. Our style was built to be bold, built to be better. But don't just take our word for it. Chicago has been voted best big city in the U.S. for 8 years in a row. Now that's Chicago style.
So I'm going on a ski trip and need a car with snow tires. I hit the search bar, find a rental, and think this should be easy. But with rental companies, it's never that simple.
Sorry, we don't have snow tires. Do all-season tires work instead?
Sure, if I'm looking to get stuck. Thanks for nothing. You know what? Let me try Turo instead. Turo lets you rent exactly what you need, and I'm done with the guessing games. Download Turo and browse thousands of winter-ready options available to rent. From all-wheel drives to snow tires, heated seats, roof racks, and more. Find exactly what you need on Turo.
For that perfect afternoon excursion, you can easily hop on a short boat ride from the Park Hyatt to the nearby island of Nevis. You can spend your afternoon strolling through the Alexander Hamilton Museum and sipping on crafty cocktails called Killer Bees at the local hotspot, Sunshine. And if you're lucky, you may get to see and meet Sunshine himself. 2 spots on the island that you must visit are the Old Road Rum Co. Distillery and the Spice Mill Restaurant with its adjoining Hibiscus Spirits Boutique. The former offers you a peek into the history and future of rum production in St. Kitts. Incredible coastal views while savoring delicious food and drink, and possibly even creating your very own spiced rum through their fun and interactive Rumtini experience.
Hello, welcome to Old Road Rum Company here at beautiful Wingfield Estate. My name is Jack, I'm the founder, and we're here to talk about one of the most amazing discoveries that we found just about 12 years ago. It is this distillery right here. It's a 17th century distillery, and we're actually looking at the oldest known place of rum production in the Caribbean. Our project has been all about restoring rum production to this historical site and regenerating the Old Road Town community. And we've been on this journey now for the past 4 years as a product, Old Road Rum product, but this has been a journey that I started as a child in, being on the site and uncovering things here. And my father, before that, this site was, if you look at the rainforest behind you, this site was completely overgrown and abandoned. And it has been this journey that my family has been on over the last 30 plus years to uncover the history here and restore that. And this site, for most of the modern history, has been completely forgotten. And we're here to share this journey, to share the rum history here in St. Kitts for the world to know exactly what happened here. You can't have rum without sugar. Sugar is the vital ingredient here. And this site, for most of its history, has been about sugar production, and the byproduct of sugar being molasses is how the rum is formed. And to get to that process, it starts here. You see the aqueduct system here? It would lead to a massive water wheel that was used to crush the sugarcane. So this, by some historians' point of view, is the oldest in the Western Hemisphere. And to a lot of people's point of view, this is also probably the oldest working estate in the Western Hemisphere as well, dating back from 1625 to now.
Welcome to Spice Mill and Hibiscus Spirits. My name is Roger Brisbane. I'm the creator of Hibiscus Spirits, a unique flavored floral spirit made with locally grown Roselle hibiscus, or what we call sorrel here in the Caribbean. Our Hibiscus Spirits Distillery, nice beautiful small distillery. We produce spiced rums, coconut rums, hibiscus gin, and even blend a hibiscus tequila. Come on in and let's take a look. So we offer a tour in this distillery where guests come in and get to blend and bottle their own hibiscus spice rum. We have some extracts which we present with the guest. We give them a bottle of our high-proof hibiscus infused spirit, which is about 70% in alcohol. They get to measure it out into the cylinders, pour it into a mixing cup, and then use their pipettes to pull up their extracts.
So I'm going on a ski trip and need a car with snow tires. I hit the search bar, find a rental, and think this should be easy. But with rental companies, it's never that simple.
Sorry, we don't have snow tires. Do all-season tires work instead?
Sure, if I'm looking to get stuck. Thanks for nothing. You know what? Let me try Turo instead. Turo lets you rent exactly what you need, and I'm done with the guessing games. Download Turo and browse thousands of winter-ready options available to rent. From all-wheel drives to snow tires, heated seats, roof racks, and more. Find exactly what you need on Turo.
With Wise, Tina can spend and send money in other currencies. Tina's gone
international. Moving all around, money head there, everywhere, man, I like a sound. Ding, 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 international. Moving all around, money head there, everywhere, man, I like that sound.
Wise, the app for doing things in other currencies.
Ding, ding.
If you think there's just one Miami, think again. You might discover her Miami, a fitnesscape full of kicking, swinging, and steaming. There's the Artventurous Miami that combines vibrant art and one-of-a-kind outdoor adventures. And get your appetite ready for a Miami that's deluxious, equal parts delicious and luxurious. There's a Miami perfect for you, waiting to be discovered. The only question is, what Miami will you choose?
One thing St. Kitts is famously known for is their rainforest. Its rainforest is actually growing and not depleting thanks to very strict laws that protect the environment. So a trip into the lush, high-up rainforest is not only a must when you're visiting, but it's a chance to really revel in the beauty of nature.
So you open, you know how to do your thing, you know how to swim. When you come back home, every weekend or after school, everybody come in there and we have our fun, and that's where a lot of us learn how to swim. Like I said, I learned to swim in one of these. The banana stem is dark and black. So that's another way, our main way to distinguish between banana and plantain. We look for the stem, dark, black stem, banana, light green stem, most likely would be plantain. This one here is called a hibiscus, and they're currently producing a rum from it here on the island, being distilled up in Bird Rock, known as the hibiscus rum, where anybody who living on the island and producing hibiscus flower, you could take the flower to them and they'll buy it from you by the pound and use it to distill to make the hibiscus rum.
A trip to St. Kitts really isn't complete without spending a Friday night at the Reggae Beach Bar and Grill. Live music, fresh barbecued seafood, trust me, you will not want to skip on the shrimp and lobster, plus drinks on the beach. It's the perfect way to round out your time on the island. There's a reason why St. Kitts is often referred to as the Queen of the Caribbean. It gets its gems from its incredible natural beauty, layers of history, and the warm welcoming that every local exudes. If you're looking for a mix of rainforest, beach, coastlines, views, and incredible food, then you should definitely make St. Kitts your next destination.